Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Shawn joined Miyagi-Do? Part 2. If you guys haven't seen part 1, I would recommend you guys go watch it before continuing this one. So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 2 would still happen. Robbie would still kick Miguel off the balcony, so Miguel would still be paralyzed, and Robbie would still go to juvie. The events of Season 3 would continue. The students of Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai would still have the rivalry, and Hawk and Shawn would begin to hate each other. The rivalry between Shawn and Hawk would begin to grow. Cobra Kai would continue their training. Robbie would still be in juvie, but in this timeline, he wouldn't be picked on by anyone, so Robbie would continue serving his time. Johnny would still want to help Miguel recover, and the events of Season 3 would carry on. The rivalry between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would continue. The Cobra Kai students would still mess with the Miyagi-Dos, and Hawk and the other Cobras would want to mess with Shawn, but in this timeline, Shawn would be fighting back, and without Daniel's guidance, Shawn would want to get revenge on the Cobra Kais, so Shawn and the Miyagi-Dos would still attack Cobra Kai in this timeline. Those events would carry on. Shawn would take down some of the Cobra Kai students, and he would want to fight Hawk. So in this timeline, Hawk wouldn't break Dimitri's arm, and the events of Cobra Kai would continue. Daniel would eventually reopen Miyagi-Do, so the Miyagi-Do students would continue their training, and without Robbie, Shawn would want to take over as Miyagi-Do's #1 student. Kyler and his friends would still join Cobra Kai, and Hawk would still be against it, but Kreese would say that they needed natural athletes, and Johnny would still form Eagle Fang. Those events would stay the same. Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai would still have a rivalry. Shawn and Kenny would continue their training, and Kenny would still become one of Miyagi-Do's best students, and Shawn would still be very protective over Kenny. Robbie would still be released from juvie, but he still wouldn't want anything to do with Daniel or Johnny. The All Valley would still be cancelled, but Miguel and Sam would still help save it. Those events would stay the same. Robbie would still show up at Miyagi-Do, and he would still see Sam and Miguel. Robbie would still feel heartbroken, and he would feel betrayed, so Robbie would still go to Cobra Kai in this timeline. Hawk wouldn't be happy that Robbie was in Cobra Kai, and the events of Season 3 would continue. Miguel and Sam would still get the idea to merge Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang, but Shawn wouldn't trust Miguel. He would know that he was Hawk's friend and Robbie's enemy. The house fight would still happen in this timeline, but with Shawn on Miyagi-Do's side, they would stand a better chance against Cobra Kai. Shawn would take down some of the Cobra Kai students, and he would want to fight Hawk, so Hawk and Shawn would have the rematch, and since Shawn was at the house fight, he would still be protecting Dimitri. Kenny wouldn't be at the house fight, because he would be at a sleepover with Anthony and the rest of his friends. Shawn would still defeat Hawk in this timeline, so Shawn would go off to fight other Cobra Kais. Hawk would be defeated, and he would still look around. This is when he would see Kyler beating up Miguel, and much like in the original timeline, Hawk would have a change of heart, and he would go save Miguel. So Hawk would take down Kyler in this timeline. Miguel would be surprised to see this, so Hawk would help take down Cobra Kai. Shawn would be surprised to see Miguel and Hawk fighting Cobra Kai, and he would have mixed feelings seeing Hawk on their side, so Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang would take down Cobra Kai in this timeline. The season would still end the same way. Johnny would still confront Kreese, and they would still fight. Those events would stay the same, and Daniel would also fight Kreese, and he would still use a pressure point technique on Kreese. This is when Miguel, Sam, and Shawn would show up. Kreese would still propose a tournament in this timeline, and everyone would be surprised to see Robbie in Cobra Kai. Shawn would feel conflicted seeing his friend on Cobra Kai's side, and much like in the original timeline, Johnny and Daniel will still team up. So Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do would start training together. Shawn wouldn't like that Hawk was now training at Miyagi-Do, and they would still have their rivalry, and that is where I'm going to end part 2. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Shawn joined Miyagi-Do during the events of Cobra Kai Season 2? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.